now I'm wondering if this is a waste of time of doing these new efforts, for example, learning a new sports activity or going into business into a completely new area and doing other things than before, compared to really doing that, what you mentioned before with this guy Bolt, who, you know, from the childhood on, he wanted to get the gold medal, the 9.58, and that's, you know, keep it and focus and practice only one thing.
Well, ultimately it comes down to what you want in life, right? I mean, I'm not saying that learning is bad, but I know so many people that are constantly doing a new course, taking a new program, learning a new thing, and that's all they do, right? And maybe it's not so much in Europe, but in America, that's how people in my business make money. They're constantly selling someone a new training program, a new course, this, that. Don't, you know, and that's all they do is they're just constantly learning, doing one thing, but they never practice any of those things. I have one friend in New York, someone I know, my wife's friend. She's constantly doing retreats, going to retreats, just learning yoga on pedalboard, how to do pedalboard yoga. And then there's aerial yoga where you hang from the ceiling and you do yoga. And then there's horseback yoga. I'm like, what the hell? You know, there's goat yoga, cow yoga. What yoga are you going to do? And it's constantly doing one thing after another. You're never becoming good at anything, right? So for me, I think, you know, what's important in your life, that's the first thing. Second is, how can you learn the things that can help you be better in what you're passionate about? So if you're a soccer player, a football player, then you want to learn things that can help you be a better soccer player, right? So that you can enjoy more because that's your passion and that's what you love, right? So I work with a football player and he's really passionate about football, right? And he wants to be the best in the world. So he wants me to train him on how to be better in that because the better he becomes at that, the more he can enjoy it, rather than doing 50 other different things. So learning is not bad if your learning is in alignment with what you're passionate and what you love in life. And I think people can get so easily distracted by getting on this thing about just learning, but never practicing. You know, I speak to certain groups all the time, like entrepreneurial groups. I teach them one thing, I come back the next year, they say, oh, what's part 2? I'm like, okay, this is part 2. I come back the third year, what's part 3? And I'm like, are you practicing part 1? Like, they don't even remember what's part 1. They just want the next new thing. So what's the point? You know? Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's kind of where I'm leaning. So learning is not a bad thing, but if you direct your learning towards your priorities or your purpose in life, I think that becomes so much more fulfilling. And then the second thing is actually implementing that, right? That's the key part.